Karen Butler here with Game Changers Childcare Development and Business Services. And today I kind of want to go over a little bit with you. Actually, on this particular video, I want to talk about the different forms of licensure in the childcare business. The different forms of licensure. Some people, I've got many calls where people didn't realize if they could keep children in their home without a license, if they can keep children in their home with a license, how many can they keep? So we're going to cover all of that today on this particular video. And I want to thank you for joining me. So we're going to get started, and we're covering the different types of licensure. So the basic, first of all, you can keep 4 unrelated children in your home without a license. In addition to the 4 unrelated without a license, you can keep as many related as you want in the state of Tennessee. Your particular state may have a different law for it, but it's usually what I found, because I have clients all over from California. I even have a client in Oregon. So from what basically I've been blessed to have the experience, most of the states are pretty much parallel when it comes to policy and procedures in opening and operating a daycare. So it may be called something different in this particular state, but it kind of, I can see it in all states, and it's almost parallel. So, but I always double check just to make sure, and you should too. But in the state of Tennessee, you can keep 4 unrelated children. And you can keep, or there's no law on our books at this time for the number of related children you can keep without a license. Unregulated is what it's called. Unregulated childcare. So you do not have to have a license. You can still get on the food program. Not having a license, you can still apply for the food program, which is, if you don't know what that is a grant given by your government based on your income. Depending on where your daycare is located or where you live, the poverty level, if the majority of the children in that district is receiving free or reduced lunch, it's a census that says that this particular area will be able to apply for the grant. So it depends on the tier, which tier you're on or which level you're on, how much of that grant you can get based on the income level of the community that you live in. And it can be upwards from $400 to, I've seen them as high as $1,800, $1,900 to $2,500 per month. You don't have to give it back. It's for the children to eat. It's reimbursement for your milk, for your food that you provide. There's no catch, but one of the requirements, or a couple of the requirements, are you have to feed the children off of the food pyramid, and you have to have certain things like whole grain pasta, whole grain bread. So they're cutting a lot of the junk out of the diet, basically. And you have grant money for this that's available to anybody. You don't need anything to apply. You don't have to show them anything. All you have to do is basically say or tell them that you have the children. You're keeping 4 children. They'll give you paperwork for the parents to fill out. They'll give you an application. And then after that, you're all done. You're good to go. You're perfect. You're in there. So once you get the ball rolling for that, it takes about, now a note to self, it takes about a good 2 months to get started to actually seeing that money come in. But once you see that money come in, it comes in monthly. So that's a huge, huge blessing to have on your list of things. The second, moving up the tier of childcare, the second one is regulated childcare. And with regulated childcare, you do have a license to keep up to 8 kids. And with your 8 kids, you can have an additional 2 that are before and after only. And this is in the state of Tennessee. Again, check your particular state for your particular rules on the numbers you can keep. But this is called a regulated childcare facility. You are licensed. You go down in the Department of Human Services directory for people who have vouchers, which is assistance from the states for their childcare tuition. You will have access and you will be a part of that system. So that means you would have to go through the STARS program. That means you would have to go through the unexpected visits, and it's 2 or 3 a year unexpected and 2 or 3 a year expected. So on the pop-up visits, they check your records. They just make sure your facility is together. You can lose your license on a pop-up visit. So word to the wise, have it straight from day one. If you have it straight from day one and every day operates after day one and identical to day one, then day 362 when DHS pops up and you got a parent in front of you cussing and screaming, you've got children everywhere, you've got 2 teachers that's called in that day, you don't lose it. If you do day one, identical from day one every day, on day 362, you don't lose it. When all hell is breaking loose, you've got the state at the door with an unannounced visit, 2 teachers called in, a dissatisfied parent in your face, raising Cain. What do? You keep your cool. You're paddling under that water like you're like a duck underwater. I mean, under that duck, and underwater that duck little feet are just going beep, 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 beep. That's exactly what you need to be doing. Trust me, or you will be doing. But above water, to everybody in the room, you are together. And with that, you are together. Because from day one, you followed policy, you followed procedure, you had all of your checks and balances in place. You've been doing everything from day one. So even though this is very stressful, standing in your face right now, and all of this is going down, just straighten that crown up a little bit. Whoop. Look at your PE, your program evaluator, in the face. And you tell her, welcome. How can we help you today? And you just go ahead and let her do her thing. Because if you have everything you're supposed to have together already, you should get no infractions. You should be ready for spot visits. Spot visits are nothing. And that's only if you're operating and functioning every day like you possibly should. And you can do that. It's so easy to do that. But when you start letting things slide and things slip, and employees come back a little bit later, and then they just don't call, they just show up, and you get to begging them to come, and the disrespect is lost at that point, they're never going to show up. They're never going to show up. And you can afford for them not to. Not in this business. You cannot. I wanted to also share with you guys, we are about to have a first, the first annual child care conference. It's kicking off March 28th, 2020 in Clarksville, Tennessee. So if you are somewhere close to Tennessee, you better get to this conference. You better get to this conference. It is going to be like no other conference that you have ever seen. Trust me. You already know I'm full of energy, right? So you know my conference is going to be so lit. You know we're going to have such a good time. So you got to get to the conference. It's going to be for people who want to open daycares, people who have daycares open, people who have centers, people who have in-home daycares, any type of childcare business. If you're a director, owner, teacher, staff, this conference is for you. Now, mark your calendars. March the 28th. And let me let you in on a tidbit I'm so excited about. Oh, let me clutch my pearls. Oh, well, let me clutch my stones. But anyway, oh my God. Guys, we're going to have, are you ready for this? At the conference, you're going to have aromatherapy. Ooh, I don't think you heard me. Aromatherapy at the conference. You're going to have, oh, I don't think they're ready for this one. Do you think they're ready? Do you think they may be ready for a little bit of wine? How about a wine bar? You're going to have a wine bar at this conference. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're not done with you. We're not done with you. We're not. How about sound therapy at this conference? So you've got aromatherapy, you've got sound therapy. Ooh. This conference is going to be off the chain. In addition to high-powered speakers. In addition to workshops that's going to get you there. Workshops on discipline and behaviors. How you can control your children who have behavioral problems or your everyday children. How you can tap into their brain wave with colors. And bring them calmness with colors. We're going to show you how. We're going to show you how to even incorporate that into your lesson plan. So your room stays calm and wonderful at all times. It's going to be a nice workshop. And last but not least, I'm going to give you guys one more secret, but then I'm going to keep all the rest of the secrets, like the goodie bags that's coming. Oh my goodness, a sponsorship. One more thing, one more surprise tonight. Then the rest of it, I'm holding back until you get your ticket. So you can actually go to our Facebook page. We're in Eventbrite. Our tickets are on sale now. They are limited. They're limited, so you better get in that conference. And the last surprise for the conference, and then I'm through talking about the conference. We're gonna get back to the topic at hand. But the last conference surprise I have for you, we're having a comedian come and tickle your funny bone. So you're gonna have a whole good hour of comedy. A great time. I'm telling you, we got food. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to spend a great time together learning and just having a great time. So do mark your calendars, March 28th.